you know, the camera does it no justice, because when you're standing here and you see it, it's just boom. But when you're looking through it through a lens, just like the moon, when you take a picture of the moon, it just looks tiny. But it is gorgeous. And it just, the air is so clean. It's a little higher elevation, no pollution. Now granted, we do burn stoves up here, furnaces and stuff, so there is supposed to be some smell, but really just there's enough wind that it just pushes it out. It's beautiful. I mean, it's clear as day. Look around. Oh man, what a view. All right, great news. The storm has come to an end, which means we've got great weather for the next week at least, if not longer, which means we can finally make some serious progress here. I know we're on 10 days. I mean, 10 days, that's basically a career. This job is becoming a career. So we got to hurry up and finish this thing up. So here's where we're at. We're actually really close. We need touch-up painting all around the house. But before we can complete the touch-up painting, including the 2 front doors and back doors, front door, back door, we need those casings on, and some of the casings still need to be cut, primed, and painted. I do have the wood here, so we can get right to that. But also, there's some prep work that needs to be done around these windows. There was a comment to, I think it was Warath, who said, take a table saw and just notch out where the hex heads are. It's not a bad idea, especially when you're doing a ton of them. But if you miss the cut, then you're going back to the table again. Anyway, I'm just gonna pull them out and put the screws in. There's not that many left to do. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows left to case in. There's a little bit more paint to do on the shed up here. That's kind of where this smoke damage had seeped through. But the back is looking pretty good. We still have a lot of trash here, and that truck that was out here, he had a bunch of junk and he didn't take it all. So even though this isn't my property, it's right next to my property, so I'm gonna have to clean this up too. But whatever, I'll just bring the trailer one more time, wrap it all up. I went shopping for flooring materials, so 6 days from now the flooring team shows up to put it in. So I need to get on that soon. I got a hole here I got to deal with and a hole there. And I got the back door. That's going to be one of the main jobs. I'm bringing Dad in for that. We got everything here to do that. Got a new blade for the skill saw. But let me show you guys the house. I keep looking at myself. So, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's getting close. We still got to paint that stand. We got to paint that gray. And maybe a little yard work. Not too much yard work. Okay, so that's today's thing. Door to put in, touch-up paintings, casings. A couple loose ends inside. But if we can get those 3 major things done, I mean, we're close. Real close. That was the worst exterior light fixture I have ever installed. Whenever you're buying cheap rental house electronics, always go with a known brand. Home Depot brand, Lowe's brand, Hampton Bay, they're fine. Even the Ace brand is fine. When you buy a cheap $15, $20 light on Amazon, oh boy. This thing was missing hardware. The hardware that it did come with was the wrong size. I don't know if they just switched the pack. I think ultimately it looks a lot better on video. But I mean, yeah, I'll cock that in. I can't blame it for the gap under it, but it's plastic. Everything about this thing screams, I'll be lucky to get 1 year out of it. But it's in, it's done. Now obviously today's been a lot of time lapses. We got the back door in, it was a fight. We had to cut that fiberglass door. But the wall was pretty square. The only issue we really ran into was putting the top back on, which wasn't too big of an issue. But the casings are in and caulked. This one is a big gap, but that's what we had to do. My only gripe about this door is the deadbolt does not fit nicely. You gotta push it, and it's like, you really want to have a door where you have to like kind of lean on it to close it? On one hand, we live in a very cold area. Like right now, I think it's like 37 degrees outside. My hands are frozen. That's why I'm filming. Bless you. But also, you don't want to have to fight your door, and you shouldn't have to get a good seal. But that's what it is. We'll see what happens as it settles in. The outside looks mighty nice as well. That's cased in. Jared's been hammering away on the cabinets in here. I think he's done a mighty fine job. We're missing the plastic boots that kind of hold these in place, but they'll be all right for now. So all these cabinets are going to go in, and that basically finalizes this room. Other than just the cleanup. Oh, we got to do the floor and the boot there. But I don't know how much longer we're going today. It is freezing cold, and it's just a day more of loose ends. So, yeah. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the final list of everything that needs to get done on this house. Now, granted, there's probably a few odds and ends I forgot on that list. But everything that's major is on that list. And you know what's major? The floor, but that's not going to be done till the 23rd. But the subfloor in the corner here, the drop ceiling in the back, and the rest of the window casings. And we're talking maybe five window casings. And we're going to do the ending of all the touch-up paint. Well, not all of it, but the majority of the touch-up paint today, which means all those casings have to be put in, caulked in, and ready for paint. So that's the rush this morning. Now, I didn't finish yesterday's video. It got into the 40s and windy, and it was just miserable. So we finished this door up yesterday, did a ton of time-lapse stuff. It was an absolute fight, but ultimately it went in, looks really good. Now it's got to be painted. All right, we have a good pace going today. We got all the window casings on. Now we're caulking them in and touch-up paint. But I'm going to focus my efforts in the room addition. I think this is one of those jobs that can either be a 2-hour job or a full day. And the problem is this drop ceiling over the years has been beat up. I gotta bend all that stuff straight. I gotta square it all up. All the ceiling tiles are gonna get insulation above them. I got all new R13 and I've got all new tiles. So here's all the USG tiles. This one got a little beat up, but that's all right. That might be a cut piece. And a lot of them are beat up. Dang it, man. That might be a problem. All right, well, we'll figure it out. So there's all of our ceiling tiles. That's 24 ceiling tiles. That should do it and then some. And once we start in this back corner, once we have this square at 2x4, then we just work out of that corner all the way, insulating and paneling as we go and hope it all stays together nice. At the end of the day, there's a lot of forgiveness in these drop ceilings. You can see there's a full, probably 3/8 to half an inch there on each one. On both sides, so you can get away with a lot here. You just want to make sure it's structurally sound so it doesn't fall on somebody. Not that it would do much damage, it's just weird. Okay, here we go. hope no one watching this actually does drop ceilings for a living, because this is just a massacre. It's, I don't know, I would say the room is not that off. I'd say it's a pretty square ceiling, but all the metal bars I'm using are tweaked, and I'm having trouble getting them into the slots. But we're gonna get it up, we're gonna get it secure. It's just, it's a fight, man. It's a foot by foot. So, foot by foot war. Welcome to the completed room edition. All the lights are in, the windows are in, the new door is in. Look at that. Still a little bit of touch-up paint to do here. So we're not 100% done, of course, plus the floor has to go in. But all the windows, all the drywall, all the texture, all the primer, all the paint, and the ceiling. You know, I was telling Jared, I said, as far as construction is concerned, drop ceiling is easy. I mean, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's a lot of measuring and up and down. But compared to like plumbing, not so bad. Masonry, not so bad. You know, there's some dirty jobs in construction, and plumbing is one of them. Doesn't even matter if you're working on drains. It's always weird angles and just filthy stuff and specialized parts. Here's a new surprise we got for our loose ends. I said, there's gonna be a couple things that always pop up. Last night I turned this sink on to just have it drip, and turns out the previous tenant or owner didn't repair the sink right. They never put the gasket on to seal the bottom of the sink. So all night, drip, 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 all the way through my master bedroom, water. So I've got a fan on it, we're drying it out. I'm gonna go grab a new drain. But I think we're gonna be done with day 11 here, which means there's still quite a bit of work to do here. I always feel like I'm so close. I'm trying to close out every day, but most of the cabinets are solved. A lot of the big stuff's done. The new subfloor was put in that corner. We had some damage. We had to fix a leak, and then we had to replace the subfloor, but boy, we're getting close. We're getting close. All right, let's go put this vanity in, this bathroom. I have toilet bowls, new toilet seats for these bathrooms, but I'm not gonna put those on until after we put the toilets back in, because we're gonna rip those out to put the floor in. All right, we're gonna call that a wrap on day 11, and we've got to deal with this sink yet, so we're just gonna let the sink drip in the kitchen and then turn the heater on and the fan, try to blow all that moisture out of here. We are in sub-freezing temperatures now, so absolutely imperative that we get as much of that water out as possible. One of the weird things about living in a freezing area is that when it rains and then when it freezes, everything that's absorbed the water will expand when it freezes. Which really damages roofs and exterior wood and fascia. So these houses age a lot quicker than you would normally have in most areas, just because it gets to freezing. But that's a wrap. That's a wrap on day 11. If you guys are watching these videos and you're not subscribed, I will keep making these videos free of charge. Just subscribe. That's all I ask. That one little thing you have to do. It does help the channel and the views, and I enjoy it. So if you want to do that for me, that'd be great. And yeah, so I'll just do a little walk around here, let you guys kind of enjoy the progress. Here's our fake temporary wall that was here stood it back up to let it dry, and it looks neat. But she's coming together, boys. She is coming together.